Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture Reacts as we are diving into the trilogy of Ren with Money Game Part 1. Part 2 and 3 will follow very shortly. But
Yes.
today is
Yeah, we're
just
not going to
about
make
the
you
original.
wait a couple of years between like movies do. Yeah. I say that I'll have to edit them and put them out. So it might be a couple of years. No, it won't. They'll follow in 3 nights as long as copyrights allow.
Yes. So obviously we did Hi Ren. Both of us were blown away with
Yeah, that's a
that.
really good descriptor, isn't it? I think blown away, gobsmacked, amazed. One of those times where the snippets I'd heard, sometimes things get kind of a bit overhyped for you, and just the little droplets that I'd read or someone had said, people had said to me, sounded like it could be destined to fail, but it was so much more than I thought it was going to be. The more I've listened to it since we did the first reaction, the more and more I love it. I'm not in the slightest bit sick of it. I don't think I'll ever be sick of it, and I
So
think it's
have
a
you been
work
a
of
good
genius.
boy like I have and not touched any other Ren stuff? Because I was
Yeah,
just like, I'm no,
it feels like
hard.
it feels like something. I think because we love that first one so much, I think it feels like something that's rife for us to do on these reactions, and I'm hoping that that other songs live up to that quality. Although maybe that's a bit harsh because I think that it's so magnificent. I'm hoping things at least get close to that quality, and certainly on the comments we got, it suggests that he ain't a one trick pony. There's some amazing stuff.
Yes.
But yes, I have stopped myself. Like when we are recording this, Sick Boy, the album has just come out. I said to you before this, I did try to get the vinyl ordered this weekend. It's on pre-order at the moment. So I won't get that for a while. So we do need to do some extensive reacting so I can listen to it when I actually own it. But yeah, it feels nice. We say like this, like we do this, and sometimes it's nice for us to get the song at exactly the same time, isn't it?
Yes.
Sometimes we react to stuff where I know it or you know it, but some of the purest and nicest ones are where we're both jumping in. And this is a couple of years before, isn't it? This is a couple of years before Hi Ren. So I think it's like
This
2019, October 2019. This comes out. So
yes.
yeah, this is proceeding, and of course we talk about Sick Boy the album. When we're recording this, Money Game 3 was released the Friday before, so we're now hearing new stuff as it comes out, which is lovely.
Yes. So shall we get this on?
Yeah, let's do this.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, strife, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chained to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop. This old money game. president. It's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder that's savages colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant. Cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat. The same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions are our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Wowzers.
What? Boy knows how to do a video. Fuck.
Yeah, like it's hard to know where to start, isn't it? Because yet again, I ain't gonna bury the lead. Amazing again. But you said it. Let's get into that video first, and give me a time for my brain to catch up with some of the stuff from the song. But yeah, you're right. Boy knows how to do a video. After the Ren video, I had a kind of little look, and Off collaborates with the same director, Samuel, and I will look it up in a minute. I've forgotten the name, and I know we didn't get around to kind of talking about this in when we were doing the Hi Ren reaction, but that kind of one track shot, and I get the feeling this is something they do a lot, and in this, like, I think even more apparent. A lot more movement in this. Obviously, Hi Ren was quite static. This is like watching a movie, though, isn't it?
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, and I think
it's very it's like
I
the
think
torture scene in Reservoir Dogs is
yeah,
where I
it
was
has.
going.
Yeah, it has a kind of lot of that in there, and like, I'll be honest. So we will come back to the song, I promise. But I kind of get to the end of the song, and then of course you get that bit there where it goes silent. You know, he takes his windbreaker off, and like the petrol's poured over, and I'll be honest, it's as compelling as most movies and TV that I'm watching. Like I was just sat there kind of gripped. I was like, whoa. And regardless of where it goes and kind of what happens, I was, I felt like I was watching a great movie or great TV. And to do that in a 5 minute vid, that's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
Yes, it
And I felt
is
the
one of those.
tension when he picked up the baseball bat. You know, you sort of said about the Reservoir Dogs torture scene. I'm like, oh, is this going to go to that place? Are we going to see someone get like a shoe in here? And I don't know, even sort of quite trepidatious around it. But yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, the way that get me was when he was grabbing him and obviously drawing the eyes on, but it went really sort of low volume, and the happy little sort of whistly bit, and I was like, this is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, is he choking it? What is he doing? But
yeah,
he's
yeah.
doing it with a right nice little
I
about.
mean,
It's like,
kind of
oh,
Joker-esque with that, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
something that we do as big comic book fans and big kind of fans of Joker stuff. I think when Joker's done best, it is that um, brevity and sorry, not brevity, levity to a horrendous situation. So, like, you know, he will whistle, or you know, he'll be telling a joke as something really horrific's happening. And I think that concept plays on your mind when this happens. You're almost filling in the blanks, like whatever they did, you've probably imagined worse in your head. And I
yeah,
think yes, when you get that payoff of he's drawn the smiley face and the eyes on, which I was speaking to Chris before we started recording, and I know I said earlier on about going to order the Sick Boy vinyl, but they had on Ren's website they have a PVC vinyl figure of the Sack Man, so I think that will be making its way into my basket as well and behind me in the near future.
yes. But so for the video, bravo. Shall
Oh,
we?
and one thing before
Oh,
we,
yes.
it's kind of video to song, so it's a good transition. One of the things I'm really interested in is hearing that without the video. So I imagine the music doesn't have the stopping points because in the video it has those stopping points, and I think probably the pauses are longer for the effects. I can't imagine those pauses are as long in the song like on the album or
Mm,
a single or whatever. And of course, well, I say of course, one of the things I really liked about it is the way the video is recorded and it's being performed, but you're picking up all the background noise as well.
yeah,
And I'm really intrigued to know that if that background noise is there, and I imagine not. I imagine it is the song is the song is the song. But if that is the case, I think even better. It's almost like the difference between the album version and a live version, isn't it?
yeah,
And more often than not, when you get a video, the difference is between the album version and the album version with moving pictures. And I like that. I like that added element of, I don't know, just adding in and letting it have more to it that I can't imagine would be on the album version. You know, I can't imagine that static is playing, but I don't know, and I will find out. I will be listening to it after we've recorded this. But yeah, very
you can.
interested to know. Yeah, very interested to know where that differs for the song for the studio recording of it.
Yeah. Um, this again, I can see why a lot of people, obviously, when we did Hi Ren, were saying like it bardcore and that sort of it. The boy is a storyteller, and he clearly has obviously the story and the message that he wants to get across. But the way that he delivers is
Yeah,
compelling, and it draws you into it, and it's like the slight accenting that he does on certain words,
yeah,
on how he phrases things. It's just like fuck. It's yeah. It was like the bit where he's going about immigrants, and he dropped in, and we're all German. We all came from Rome, and it's just how he was saying it. It was like truth bombs, but done in a
Yeah.
way that's just like shove that in. Yeah, go on, and it's just
So
like,
like,
oh,
so when we did Hi Ren, like the storytelling is breathtaking for me. And I guess it's his story, but with that added message. And I think this one is more messagey than story, but I'm spot on with you of going his storytelling is immaculate. He manages to do a song primarily about messaging that feels like you're listening to a story. Look, we're 2 songs in, and so calm down, Michael. But genius so far. I'll be honest. I will go genius so far. We've said this on a couple of other things, like Immortal Technique is a really good comparator for me.
yeah,
I think Immortal Technique also does very similar to the 2 tracks we've heard so far. But I think where it kind of probably works for us a bit more is the messaging fits with our worldview as well. And I
yeah,
think going through this, the messaging very much fits with how I know the two of us think about the world when we talk about the world offline. um, so that's a bit of a potentially you could say an easy win, but I think one of the things that comes across really, really well for me in this, and again in High Ren, although a different subject matter, is I think if this wasn't my worldview, I'd be very compelled by it.
yeah.
Because as you say, it's told in a very, very interesting way that has some substantive facts in there, but doesn't feel condescending at all. You know,
Yeah,
it feels,
it's not like you're being told something in a sort of teachery way or
yeah,
being lectured at as a "do you not know"
yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah, it's
It more feels like going, if you don't know, it's fine that you didn't know, but now you know, and
yeah,
maybe look further into this. And it's hard, isn't it? I think it is very, very difficult and underestimated how difficult it is to get an opinion across without sounding like
a
you're
stuck up
talking
twat.
down. Yes, talking down to someone, insulting. I mean, like in the political world we're in at the moment, I think um, some of the hardest things that I see is that there are people that I really, really agree with what they say, but I go, "Oh, your messaging's so bad."
Mm,
You're effectively, and I guess I know I've done it as well in my time of going. You don't win people round by going, "You're an idiot" because you don't agree with me, and sometimes it can come across like this, and there's none of that here. This is very much, I'm going to tell you what is happening from my perspective, and I think even if you don't agree with me, by the end of this, you will probably go and look some of this up and delve
yeah,
into the subject matter and probably come along with me.
but yeah, as you said, 2 songs that we've heard, both absolute bangers for very different reasons and very different styles of song.
Yeah,
Yes, they're both just played on an acoustic guitar, but still very different deliveries, very different subject matters. And I can see why we got as much love back and people going, you need to jump into this,
yeah.
because I, we'll say it now because it's the first Ren thing we've done since Hey Ren going out and that being picked up. All of the stuff that was put in that list is in the list to be done.
I'm I'm gonna be honest. Like I think there was a little bit to me that said if we did this trilogy and it was absolutely terrible, and I didn't think it would be, but if it was absolutely terrible, I might have been disinclined to do a ton more. Although I think the tale of Jenny and Screech has got so many shouts that we would have, I think we definitely would have got to that. But
Yeah,
I want to hear everything. That's the truth of it. I want to hear everything this guy has done and will ever do at this point. And you said something about like their music. So yeah, both primarily acoustic guitars for the 2 tracks we've heard. Yeah, very very different, as you say. I think in the high end we're getting much more. I would describe as sort of classical guitaring.
yeah,
And this, that's a very, for the subject matter as well, very fun beat, isn't it? It's a very fun tempo. I would say got like a kind of Latin come reggae lilt to it, like almost smished together, and like your head's going with it. And you know, I said about being compelling whilst delivering a big bold message. Like it, I think you take more in when you're enjoying what's going on behind it. You know, you say your head's nodding, and you're just taking those lyrics in. But yeah, I really liked it, and the fact that it stayed quite consistent throughout. Uh, Again, I'm going to jump back to some of the things we've said on some of the Immortal Technique ones. I think sometimes what he does so well, and what I think this song does so well, is by not varying that music too much, you do focus on the lyrics more. You focus on the
Yeah.
song more. And it's not that it's just background noise. It's not. It's really enjoyable, but it's not distracting you from like what's being delivered lyrically. And with a video like that, I think you do want to try and avoid any undue distractions, because that's distracting enough because it's so good. Yeah, brilliant again, isn't it?
Yes. So, Dana, let us know what you think. Obviously, more Ren picks because I can fill the list up more. As always, YouTube your things, like, subscribe, ring bells. We'll be back
Yes,
very shortly with Money Game 2.
for us in about 30 seconds. For you,
Yes.
got to wait 24 hours at least.
But until then, check out the other stuff on the channel. There's loads. There's loads of different things on there.
And just very quickly as well, like there's I don't want to move away from this by going, we talked about how much we like it. There is so much in this lyrically, isn't there? Like I think there's so much in it. I know you said about the immigrant bit, and I will let you say goodbye in a second, I promise. But the bit where we're talking about the freedom of speech and the usage of freedom of speech sings so much to me. One thing I will say is there's so much lyrical content here that I don't feel like I feel like I need another 3, 4, 5 listens before I could actually speak eloquently about it and really drill down into it. But yeah, I just want to make sure that it's clear. I think this is lyrically fantastic, and we'll be doing the other two, but I think the next couple of days of my life will be going through this and hopefully the other two, if they're as good, to kind of pick through those lyrics and really sort of grab out those bits that speak to me.
Yes.
Now you can
So,
say goodbye.
until tomorrow and Money Game 2, good day.